Pokemon Black, but I have to change teams after every gym battle. Basically, I have to change Pokemon after every battle. That's simple enough. I can't, once a Pokemon is I can't use that Pokemon or in that line, so if I use a Patrat, I can't use a Watchog later, for example. And I can't use more Pokemon than what the gym leaders have. So like the gym leader has 3 Pokemon, I can only use 3 Pokemon till then. Then Champion I'll be able to have 6 because, you know, and has 6 Pokemon. Alright, let's get this started, shall we? Alright, now that the intro's gone out of the way, let's do this. I picked Snivy, just because it's not really a good choice since they're gone first gym anyway. Bianca gets a lucky crit, but I eventually take her down. Next up's Cheren, same with him. He gets a lucky crit on me too, but I eventually take him down. Alright, next up is the end fight. And well, yeah, I leered a few times, then I started Vine Whipping down, I eventually take out his Purloin. Yeah, it's still gonna be Naga for a bit. Oh, time to fight Bianca again. I get a critical hit on her Lillipup, but she heals it. Then I take her other Pokemon down with the Vine Whip. Then I get a Pampor from this lady, and I name it Chili, because I'm hilarious. Alright, now let's fight Cheren again. I lead with Chili. A few Water Guns took out his Tepig after eating a Nornberry next to his Purloin. Start Water Gunning that down too, and I eventually do take it out. Alright, time to fight Chili. I lead off with Naga, and I leer his Lillipup down, and I start Vine Whipping it. He bites me, I keep Vine Whipping it, I eat my Warmberry, he picks up and eats my Warmberry. I eventually take out Lillipup, and I level up to level 13. I don't learn Growth since I'm not going to keep this thing anyway, what's the point? Alright, next up is Pansear. I just stay in to do damage, and I send out Chili. I start Water Gunning it, he hits me Incinerate, and the Water Gun takes it out. That was... Alright, I catch a Patrat as my first new Pokemon. I chose Patrat just because, well, there's nothing else to get here. Alright, time to fight Cheren. I start off with a Sand Attack, then 2 Sand Attacks, and I start biting down his Tepig with using cuts. I eventually take him out. Next up's Purloin, same thing as Tepig, I just keep cutting it out as it hits me with some things. Alright, next up is I catch a Sock. Now let's fight N. Name it Shook, 'cause I'm hilarious. And well, Sock sweeped all of N's Pokemon besides Timber, who got 2 shot by low sweep. Alright, time to fight Lenora. And Lenora, I set out Patrat to eat the Intimidate, and then after Patrat got taken down, Shu took down both of them with low sweeps. I love Sock. Too bad it's gone now. Oh well. Alright, first up on the list, I caught a Pidove. Yeah, Pidove. Everyone's favorite bird. I named it Dunce, after myself. Next up, I caught a Venipede. And yeah, I named it, Blue. For no reason at all. I caught Darumaka, I named it Kaka. Because if you know Darumaka's white Pokedex entry, I think it is, you know why. Alright, bird time. Fire Punch one-shots his Whirlipede. I send out Dunce, start air cuttering down Dwebble, but I get taken down. Send out Kaka. I missed a Fire Punch because I fucking hate Hustle. Then 2 Fire Punches took out his Dwebble. Last up is Leavanny. I Poison Tail, then I start Struggle Biting it, and a couple Bug Bites take it out. Alright, next up I caught a Drillbur. Now let's fight Bionica. And well, I named Dugs. So I started home calling up since that's what I needed to do. So I started digging her Pokemon. I was able to sweep all of her Pokemon. I had to sweep because my next team members I need to get is past this area. I wonder who they're gonna be. Alright, next Pokemon I catch is Sandile. I named it Shades, because of the anime. Sandile is definitely the best character in that black and white anime. Alright, Cheren time, and I eventually took out his Pidove with Bites as he spams a Roost. I actually was able to win when I finally got a flinch on him with Bite. That was nice. Next up is Pansage. I stayed in, just bite twice, take him out. Next up, Pignite. I send out Dugs. 1 dig takes out his Pignite. Next up is his Liepard. I send out Dugs again. The dig takes it out. Next up, I caught a Dwebble. Alright, now it's time to... I called it Dwebble. I named it Crabs. Alright. Now it's time for the end fight. And I'll be real, this took me a few tries. So, this is my winning attempt. I Bug Bite and one-shot his Sandile. A dig and a Smackdown took out Darumaka. Next up, Scraggy. Scraggy was the real problem here. A dig from Doug took it out. Last up, Sigilyph. I get a slash on it to do damage. Another slash take it out as he whirlwinds. And I use a bite to take it out with Sandile. Alright, time to fight Elisa, who's a bit more of a challenge than I thought. I lead off with Crabs. I go for Smackdown to do damage on her second Emolga, but she bolts switches back out. Send out Shade to do something. I go for Bite to do damage. That's not it. So I send out Bugs. I get a critical slash to get her Emolga. Another slash to get another Emolga. Then I take out her Zip Strike with the... Alright, the next up on the roster for our team, I caught a Maractus, named it Jane. And then I caught a Scraggy, named it Hoodlum. That's a reference to more things than one. And then last up is I caught a Temple. Alright, time to fuck over Cheren. He leaves with Liepard, and I have to take him out with Brick Break with Hoodlum. Next up is Tranquil X. I send out Jane. And I send out WTP, which is what it looks like Palpito would tend to. Then is Simisage. I took down So this Panties I took down with 5-pin missiles. Next up is this Pig Knight. After fighting a while with Papiltoad, I eventually took it out with a bunch of bubble beams. Alright, next up is Clay. He leads with Krokorok. I lead with WTP. I hit it with the Skull, taking out one shot. Next up is this Palpitoad. I send out Jane, one shot with the Giga Drain. The last up is Excadrill. I send out Hoodlum. I go for a Brick Break as he Home Claws. Then he has to look, this like a motherfucker gets a flinch with Rock Slide. Then I take it out with Jane. That was alright. First up, I catch Blitzel. I name it Elisa. Next up, I catch a Roggenrola. And I name it meh. What should I feel about Roggenrola? Alright, time to fight Bionica now. I trained them both up to level 30. And oh yeah, I probably should say this. Audino was harmed in making it this challenge. Lots of Audino were harmed. Anyway, I took out Bianca's first 2 Pokemon with Spark. And then next up is her Pansy. I send out Man, use Rock Slide. Then last up is Musharna, I start Rock Sliding it down. Then it puts me to sleep. Eventually I switch out to Elisa. I use Spark. I have 1 HP, but it takes me out. Then, you know, she heals. I just kept fighting. I eventually took her out. Alright, next up, I catch Clink. I caught Clink just because it can learn Electric-type moves, and it'd be somewhat useful, I guess. Alright, end fight time. Lead off with Zipstrika. 2 Sparks took out his Boldore. Next up is his Joltik. And I use Rock Slide to take it out. And next up is Ferroseed. I use Flame Charge on Elisa to take it out in 2 shots. And last up is Clink, and well, I sent out my Clink, and we had a little bit of a Clink fight. Yeah, Clink wasn't that helpful. Like I said, I caught just for backup. Alright, time to fight Skyla. Swoobat gets 1 shot by Rock Slide, next up Swanna gets 1 shot by Spark, and then last up is her on Pheasant, which gets 2 shot by Spark. She used Razor Witch, so she couldn't even heal it. That was easy. Alright, now we caught Shilitwick, and we named it Travis, because it's lit. Okay, I'll leave right now. Our next up is Ferroseed. We call it Beyblade, because it kind of looks like a Beyblade. And last up, we catch a Timber. And I name it Machop, because I'm hilarious. Alright, so after massacring a bunch of Audino, it's time to fight Charen. I lead off with Machop to use Rock Slide and Wake Up Slap to take it out. After I flinch from fucking Air Slash, that was fun. Next up, Pig Knight. I started taking out Wake Up Slash, barely surviving. Next up, Steamy Sage. It takes me out the C-Bomb. I send out Litwick. I missed my first 2 Will-O-Wisps, like get taken out with a Seed Bomb. Send out Beyblade, and I was able to take it out eventually with a bunch of Metal Claws. And next up is his Liepard, but his Liepard got taken out from the combination of Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs. Alright, time to fight Price. Lead off with Travis, and I get Infernal 1-shot in his Vanillish. Next up is his Beartic. I start Metal Clawing it down. He heals, he hits me with a Swagger. Then I hit myself, then I take him out with another Metal Claw. Last up is his Cryogonal, and goes down to 1 Wake Up Slap. And that was Price. Alright, I catch a Jotagon, and I name it Weird Face. Not Weird Face Dad, I just do that Weird Face. Next up is Vanilla, I call it Ice. And then last up is Cubchoo, and I call it Cola. Alright, time for the Bionica fight. Or, I guess, now it's time for the Bionica fight, now it's caught up. I lead off with Ice, I use Ice Beam a couple times, but I get taken out by a Crunch. Next up is Jotagon, and Dragon Claw takes it out. Next up is Samurott, she's a Slash. Dragon Claw, she herself out though, because I have Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet. Next up is Musharna, 2 Crunches took it out. Then last up is Simisear, and I used Dig, and I 1-shot it. And I used Dig, then Crunch, then another Crunch took it out. Alright, Drayden time. Drayden leads off a Fracture, gets 1-shot by Ice Beam. Next up is Jotagon, I send out my Jotagon, and it takes stuff out from Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet. Then Haxor takes stuff out too from Rough Skin. Since N has 6 Pokemon, I'm going to catch 6 Pokemon. First up, I catch Ponyard. Next up, I catch Gothita. And next up, I catch a Golett. Cryogonal is up next as well. I forgot I need to wait for me to nickname my Pokemon. Yeah, I have an interesting final team, though. And I catch a Deerling. And last up is I catch a Mienfoo. So yeah. It's going to be a pretty fun team. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting 6 because N is the champion, my next big battle, and he has 6. So yeah. Alright, next up. Alright, now we have to fight Charen. I lead off with Cryogonal, Ice Beam 1-shots, and Pheasant. Next up, I send out Golurk, and 2 Bulldozers take it out. Next up, Simisage, I accidentally send out Mienfoo, who gets 1-shot. Then, you know, Ice Beam 1-shot Simisage, last up's Liepard, I use Jump Kick on it, and I take it out 1-shot. Elite Four time. First up is Grimsley. I lead off with Mienshao, and I Jump Kick his Scrafty and 1-shot him. Except his Liepard, after he hits me with Fake Out, I one-shot it with Drain Punch. And that's basically the rest of his team being one-shotted by Drain Punch. Yeah. Alright, next up is Chantel. I lead off with Bisharp, and I Night Slash it as he hits me with Shadow Ball. She heals, another Night Slash, she heals again. I hit Night Slash again, I get a critical one ironic in the last one. Next up, she's out Golurk. I Ice Beam with 1. Oh yeah, I called it 1 because it's a 1% encounter rate. Next up, Chandelure, which I luckily take out with an Earthquake after surviving a Shadow Ball, since Chandelure counters my entire team. Alright, Jellicent gets one-shot by a Horn Leech. Next up is Caitlyn. Night Slash. I start Night Slash in Reno because she luckily misses a Focus Blast, and I eventually take it out with a Metal Claw. Next up is Gothitelle. I send out my own. I Shadow Ball it, but she Shadow Balls me. It's a special defense drop, and it takes me out the Shadow Ball. Alright, I send out Cryogonal, took it out with an Ice Beam. Next up is Musharna. After debating what I should do, I sent out Bisharp again. I take it out with a Metal Claw after a Night Slash. Next up Sigalith. I send out Cryogonal. Ice Beam one-shots it. Alright, now it's time to face off against Marshall. I Psychic it down, it's his throwdown as he hits me with Payback after a Bulldoze. I switch out to get my speed back to Golurk. He hits me with a Rock Slide, I two-shot Immune Shell with an Earthquake after he heals. And then last up is Conkeldurr, Stalk went down pretty easily. He took out Mienshao after I hit it with a bounce, and I used Earthquake to finish it off. Alright, time to fight N. He leads off with Zekrom, I lead off with Golurk, I Earthquake it, he heals, I get a critical Earthquake and take him out. Next up is his Vanillix, I Jump Kick it, and that same thing with his next two-ish Pokemon. I just Jump Kick them both to death, and for some reason Zoroark's Illusion didn't work. Alright, next up is his Archeops. He outspeeds and one-shots my Cryogonal with a critical Stone Edge, which is overkill. I took it out with a Heavy Slam, surviving a Crunch. Last up's Caracosta. Took it out with 2 Horn Leeches. Alright, time to fight Getsis. And, well, I hard switched to fucking Bisharp. I Night Slash his Cuffery, so I take him out. Next up's Hydreigon. I use Ice Beam as he heals. Then he takes me out with a Fire Blast. I send out Mienshao, and he hits me with Dragon Pulse. I barely live. I hit it with the Drain Punch. Next up is Bouffalon. I hit it with the Drain Punch, but he kills me with an Earthquake. I send out Sawsbuck to take it out the Jump Kick. And then I also took out Sandtoad with the Horn Leech. Last up is Electros. I send out Gothitelle, use Psyche. He took himself out with a Rocky Helmet. Never mind, now last up is Bisharp. I took it out with 1 Jump Kick, and that was Getsis. So yeah, that was Pokemon Black, choosing my teams after every single gym. I hope you enjoyed. Suggest your challenges in the future. See ya.